我朋友考试的时候一起作弊，我们一起 group call， 然后讨论答案，全部人都 pass 了，但是我就觉得有点后悔，因为我现在出来做工了，我就有一点不会别人懂的东西，该懂的就不懂，所以就这样。
My biggest mistake was just 1 month before, and I'm so guilty about it, and I didn't tell to my parents. I borrowed £1,000 from somewhere and on interest of £100 per month. And they recently get to know, and they are so angry with me, and I'm not even able to face them.
My old housemate had a fry pan that he would only use to scramble eggs with, and one time he pissed me off so much that I fried a bunch of prawns in it, and I washed it really well and I put it back and I never told him.
就先坐飞机去大连的时候，当时后面有个阿姨一直在踹我的凳，她踹了我无数次，还把脚放在我的旁边，然后我就忍无可忍，我就站起来了。他儿子先说了一句：“你要咋地？”然后他就把包往我的椅背上一砸，说：“那你要怎么样呢？”我就把他的包给推下去了。然后他那个阿姨的老公就直接是拽着我的脸给了往后面用力的一推，然后我头上的墨镜直接飞到前3排。然后当时就哭出来了，然后当时就去再报了乘警，然后乘警就是跟我协调了4个小时，最后说的是他们希望能道歉，就只是道歉就结束这个事情。她那个老公应该是公职人员，然后他道歉说的是我对于被你称之为是打的这个动作感到抱歉，把我气疯了当时。可是当时因为要跟朋友他们去赶飞机，所以说只能说很憋屈的接受了他的道歉。
I've been living in London now for, I think, about 14 years. And 3 years ago, we bought an apartment in Greenwich. We were very excited, and it mostly went well. But one thing that quite upsets me is the leasehold system in the UK. They charge you a service charge, ground rent, and the ground rent keeps increasing. And for service charge, we recently uncovered stories together with our neighbors where the company wanted to charge us for maintenance of a bridge, which then turned out to be actually owned by the Greenwich Council and maintained by the Greenwich Council. Then they keep charging us for more insurance payments, of course, and since the apartment is close to the water, they now want to charge all leaseholders to pay for the maintenance of the wall, even though it's something the freeholder should have taken care of when the apartments were built. So yeah, that's one thing about the UK I don't like so much, even though I really enjoy living here otherwise. All right, that's all I have to tell today.
Okay then, well this is a story about a photograph that I've recently taken. It's an abstract photograph, originally based on a couple of buildings and the silhouette of a couple of buildings. And I was asked to produce a photo from it that was evocative and really enabled somebody to see something more deeply beyond the immediate image. And I showed it to my partner, and she quite quickly burst into tears saying, "I've not seen it this way before." But the image that I took really reminded her of her mother and some unpleasant experiences of that. So that was quite surprising me, even though I know the story, of course, about her past. And nevertheless, this was also very satisfying to me, because I've been able to take a photograph that did cause somebody to burst into tears in a nice way. Anyway, thank you very much.
I'm so excited and very thankful that I can finally bring my mum and dad to Europe and enjoy this trip to something that has been my dream, that I want to be very successful one day, so I can take mum and dad on a holiday, something that they did for me when I was very young. And finally my dream has come true.
Hello, I remember my experience from Morocco, and I was traveling to Morocco when I've been like 19, I remember if it's correct. And I was see like a lot of young people who was being a refugee, who was trying to find a beautiful life and coming to different country. And I saw a lot of like experience of the United States. I meet like different people, different young men, different young women who try to travel into of a boat. And that moment make me like so sad and so proud of her. And I can never forget that people who's been courage to take a big courage to travel and to have a beautiful life. And like, you know, and to be a refugee, I know most of the people who have a life that, and I know that, and that's the experience. You need to be strong, you need to be hard, you need to be intelligent to do that. This experience make me like adult, and make me like I remember life with a shore. And you need to live. We need to live in of a best life before end of something.
I'm dating a guy for like 6 months, and I promised to be like faithful to him. But recently, I think that I cannot, and I have like mixed feelings about him, and I'm not sure that if I want to continue, although that I told him I'm not sure about it, but I don't know how to share that with him.
My mum was quite abusive. She would get very angry and emotional and scream at us, and yeah, sometimes she would hit us too. And as I'm getting older, I've been reflecting upon that a lot and how it's impacted me and affected me as a person. And I've come to see that I have a lot of anger that's suppressed in me, that I've pushed down. And I'm just at this age, 24, starting to allow myself to feel anger again. And that's quite difficult because, yeah, I've pushed it away for many years. And recently I phoned my mother, and we had a conversation, and we see each other regularly, and we are somewhat close. But we both cried on the phone together, and it was really beautiful. Because I got to tell my mum that she hurt me a lot when I was younger, and she let me down. But also I let her know that I'm really proud of the woman that she's become, as she's changed a lot over the last 10 years. And since then, I feel a deep, soulful connection with my mum. And it makes me think of how powerful forgiveness is. So yeah, I'm very grateful for my life's journey, and very grateful for the suffering that I've experienced, as I think many people should be, because there's so much to learn from these experiences.
So my father left my mom when I was about 5 years old. That was in the year 2010. Since then I have had to learn to live alone with my mother and my brother. So I never had like a real dad that I could be happy with or something, and that is very sad for me, because I would love to have a father figure in my life. But I found that father figure in my older stepbrother. He's like a father to me. He's like 30 now, and I made literally everything with him, and I'm so grateful for him to be with me.
When I was young, I bought a bottle of water and I went home with it. And at that time, bottled water wasn't a common thing. I went home with this bottle of water and I showed it to my father. And my father went crazy. He said, I've got a stupid son that someone was able to sell him water. He couldn't believe someone was selling water and that I'd bought water. So that just showed the difference. I'm now 67. At that time I was 8, 9 years old. So that's the difference in time.
So I grew up in a pretty middle-class neighborhood in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where a lot of things seemed very possible at the time. My father is an immigrant, and even though we had a pretty tough childhood, I had a really good group of friends who just made everything a lot easier. I'm here in London with two of those friends. It would be really fun to say that we are all extremely successful and doing really, really well in our lives, but I think that would actually be a lie. We're all 30 or 31, and it's kind of embarrassing to walk around a city that is so crazy expensive that even the Pret seems out of our budget. Things in Canada are not good anymore. I would not recommend people moving there. I barely recommend people staying there. It is kind of crazy that after all this time of thinking that we were a generation that had all this amazing things going for us, that actually we have absolutely nothing. And it takes a lot of energy to not just burst out crying literally every day because of it.
Ho perso la mia migliore amica l'anno scorso. Non abbiamo mai parlato del motivo per cui ci siamo allontanati. Mi manca molto, spero che un giorno ritorneremo ad essere amici.